What's poppin', y'all? Welcome back to I Do It Myself. I am Wayno. How y'all feeling? If you like what it is that we do before we get started, hit that sub button, hit them likes, and run up that hype. Today we finishing the Dame and Cam saga. This saga included a lot of stuff. It included comedy. It included messiness. It included turmoil, disrespect, a lot of things. I gotta say this as a person who is from 119th of Lexington. Spent a lot of time on 19th in Manhattan. I spent time in St. Nick, Grant. I lived in Harlem River for years. Spent a lot of time on 34th, 35th. You know what I mean? And 8th. A lot of time on 33rd, where my aunt was living at one point in time. All over Harlem, east side to the west side. Much love to Forster, AK, 1990, Wagner, Taino. The east side to the west side, you know what I'm saying? Washington, everywhere, man, everywhere. East River, I spent a lot of time in East River. Shouts out to all my East River homies. Wilson, all of that. 1199 too, can't forget y'all. And even up the Crime Square area, 42nd and Lenox, all the most hated, 40th, you know what I mean, 40 Wolves, all of that. Listen, all of that. Drew Hamilton, it's too many for me to shout out. As Harlem representatives, though, we hold some sort of level of social responsibility to our town. Charlemagne said that people from Harlem talk about that shit like it's Harvard. I was dying, but that's how much it means to us. And I feel like it's extremely irresponsible when we lead that shit astray. You got people who want to be artists, actors, teachers, creatives, chefs, you know what I mean? All types of walks of life, people from Harlem. That's a true melting pot right there. You ain't no telling what you could get from the east side to the west side. You start going up to Dykeman. Dykeman ain't Harlem, but it's like our cousin up there. I just want to say that part of town, we got to do more and better to represent that. Cam went up to the Breakfast Club. And when he went up to the Breakfast Club, he talked about a lot of shit regarding him and Dame, how he wanted to close this chapter in his life. Clarifies a lot of things too. Now, the thing about him clarifying stuff is this. You have people who in this era have a pick-a-side mentality. They don't use critical thinking. They don't think about what sounds logical. They just go whatever the narrative is, regardless to how many times a person may falter or show us something that we might not believe in with their actions. But let's listen to some of what Cam had to say while he was up on the Breakfast Club, and then we're going to talk about it.
I got to ask, where did the friction with you and Dame come from? How did that happen?
I don't know. It's a nigga Dame, like...
He was a manager or partner with you at one time, right?
Dame did a lot for me. You know what I'm saying? Like today's going to be my last day Dame dashing.
Us too. Us too.
Yeah, because it's annoying. You know what I'm saying? So to be honest with you, pardon me. To be honest with you, I feel like I got set up. It felt like Dame had all these problems with me and never said it and was looking like a reason to say it. I was in a terrible deal at Epic Records. I grew up with Dame, and Rockefeller was up, and he helped me get out that deal. And then I actually signed me to Rockefeller, that helped me get my group on Rockefeller. Put out a platinum album. The Diplomats was born. It was great, and he did a lot for me. Attribute that. Not only I knew niggas since I was like 10, 11 years old. You know what I'm saying? And when Rockefeller fell apart, he's still my man. He's my man last year. You know what I'm saying? He's been my man this whole time. But to me, it's like a setup because no matter what, so publicly I've been giving this man props for 25 years. Mm-hmm. And it hasn't been a smooth 25 years, but that's always been my friend. I've never ran to the internet and talked about you, whether we was having good time, bad time, whatever. What I do over the years is take breaks from you. When I say that, it's like, I didn't call him Dame for a minute. I'll call him next year, this, that, and the third. And when he started talking about me on different podcasts, I'm like, bro, what the fuck is this about?
We're going to go through more. But one thing that I want to talk about that nobody talks about as far as the breaking up of Rockefeller and all of that, you know what was something that really upset everybody at Rockefeller? I ain't heard Bleak say it. I ain't heard Cam say it. I ain't heard Dame say it. I ain't heard my man Young Chris say it. Beans, nobody. On Dipset Anthem, when Joel said 2 more for Cam for taking over the Rock, yeah, it's my year. Oh my God. Let me tell y'all something. That shit was no joke. A lot of people, because this was like after, of course, this is after the VP thing and all of that. When he said 2 more for Cam for taking over the Rock, they felt the way. But with Cam, I understand what he's saying in the respect of what Dame has done for him, what he's done for the game. But then you also have to think about the friend that you love that you have to love from afar. You know what I'm saying? The person that, while you do got love and respect for them, they always wilding. And you have to ask yourself, right? When people say, oh, you know, well, he screamed on all them people at Def Jam, that's nothing. I'm going to keep it 100. The last time I said something, me and Choke No Joke never had a problem. I remember one day something happened in the comments and he said something and I was like, he said something like, I don't even know. It was off. But I've never had a problem with Choke. Choke got all the footage. What y'all seen with that Def Jam shit is nothing compared to how Dame was at that time. If y'all think he was something now, back then it was a whole nother level. And once people get to a point where they feel like they don't have to deal with you no more, or they really don't have to deal with you no more, they're not. But let's continue to go through this stuff that Cam is talking about with Dame.
Who the fuck is you around to come out with a patch and teeth? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would never let you do that because you my man. I texted him, I'm like, yo, bro, whoever you around, you not around no real niggas because they would not let you come on the camera like that. And that's kind of how it started when I dishonored her. When shit just got personal, and it was to the point where I'm like, yo, listen, man, this could get nasty. And
we going through the timeline of this shit, man. And the thing is like, yeah, man, like, who is around? And when you have to say that about a person that's older than you, that's what really affects you. Now, Cam talks about a lot of stuff in here. He talks about how Mace and Dame never had a good relationship. I mean, you know, he talks about also how him and Mace came back together and did the pod. We already seen that with $1 million worth of game. But he talks about how, you know, when Reasonable Doubt, you know, auction was going up, they was about to put up the money because his debt was supposedly $800,000. He didn't want to take the money, the $1 million that they was putting up because he was waiting on Drake or he was waiting on NBA YoungBoy. And that shit is disappointing because at that point, it's like, it's not about, and Cam expresses it, it's not so much about, you know, us just giving you the money. It's so that you could get out of the public eye with the bullshit. And I think that for all the people who defend Dame in a sense, that's one of the most commendable things that Cam has said. You know what I'm saying? For him not to see his man in a bad place publicly and trying to help him. But once he said that he wasn't with the on and rub shit, that's when it went left. Let's just watch some more though.
The shit that nigga be talking about to me is like, to me, it's semi-disappointing because I looked up to him, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just to a point where I don't wish him wealth, health, and success, but I can't no more because, like you said, in the Cam component, all that shit, you at a point where you said as long as your name stay in the algorithm, even if it takes beefing with your man to be in the algorithm, that's where you at in life. And I'm like, I see why niggas be curving. You got to think about this, not just artists. If you sit there and think about the artists that he helped and put on, it's phenomenal. You sit there and think about Kevin Hart or Jay-Z or Kanye or myself or whoever, and nobody fuck with you. Is it the artist or is it you? You know what I'm saying? Not only that, your day one niggas don't fuck with you. Daniel, I'm not saying Daniel ain't his man, but like Rel Mac, all the niggas bigs, it's like niggas from your hood don't fuck with you. So I don't mean this in a bad way because I know you're going to take this and this will be last another 3-4 months for him. You know, he'll take a spin at this kid, da-da-da. And then I be seeing like, to me, bro, you try to defame my character to where it's like, for what, my nigga? Cam's a civilian. All right, Dame, whatever, I'm a civilian.
And this shit is sad, man, because we all got them people in our lives, right? We all got them people in our lives that can't see the wrong that they do, right? Like he said, is it all of the artists or is it you? Are you the person that's putting yourself in a position where don't nobody want to be around you no longer? There was a point in time where, you know, Dame had this apartment in Tribeca, right down the block from the courthouse. You know, Center Street. If you're from New York, you know what Center Street at. The state is down there and the Fed shit is down there and all of that. The bookings, everything is down there. And he had an apartment not too far from there. Dame always had people at his apartment. I remember being at his crib and Mariah Carey came there. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody used to come to visit and see Dame. And the thing about it was like he was a very charismatic person, but people really didn't like that attitude. Like, you know what I mean? It was always others of people saying, oh man, here this nigga go again. Because once he start going off, you can't stop him. You know what I mean? Like you really can't stop him. And just to see that for him to be in his 50s and it's kind of repeated the same shit he was on, and I've heard that about him before I even knew Dame or any of them. You know what I'm saying? It's always been like that. That shit is sad. But y'all remember the thing that, you know, Dame kept harboring on, yo, my son, he tried to get at my son, he tried to get at my son. Cam talks about that. Let's go through it.
Talking about me doing something with his son. His son called, so Larry's a producer on Talk with Flea on my show. Boogie, Dame's son, called Larry asking for money. Recently, asking for money. So Larry like, yo, you want to get Boogie on the show? I'm like, I don't give a fuck. He's like, we gonna give him $5,000. I said, all right, cool. You interviewing him, you and Sync can interview him. I don't give a fuck. I text Boogie for the producer for our writers. What do you want to talk about on the show? He says his music and his movies. I have the text message. I said, cool. I give it to the writers. 2 days later, Kim trying to do shit with my son. That nigga's foul, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. How you gonna reach out to my son? Yes, son reached out to Larry and said he was fucked up. Larry asked the nigga, do he want to come on the show? He said, yeah. He took the deposit. He ain't sending the deposit back. But now you spending it again to where you fucking with my family. Da-da-da, yo, my nigga. Nobody called your son. Your son called Larry. Larry asked him if he wanted to come on the show. And
this shit is genuinely sad. It's genuinely sad because, you know, you see, you know, people in hip hop's children and they grow up in front of the camera. Boogie, Dame's oldest son, was on backstage, you know what I'm saying? Jay was his godfather. I'm pretty sure he is, but they have no relationship. And I remember seeing backstage and thinking to myself, like, damn, like that's a really family oriented, you know, situation. And I remember when I first got around Rockefeller, like just being around it, it felt like that, you know what I'm saying? But then as turmoil started to mix in and things started to happen, I started to see how it just didn't feel that way. You know what I mean? It was all about business, but now Boogie's caught up in this, you know what I'm saying? And then we seen the situation with him and Dame and his sister Ava on reality TV and him calling his dad out and them going back and forth. And again, regardless to how much grace y'all want to extend Dame because you believe that he did all of these great things for Rockefeller, and he did. And he did a lot of great things in music and in branding and cross-pollinating branding and putting Naomi Campbell and Rockaware photo shoots and blowing things up and being a part of Jay-Z. You have to ask yourself, even as a person who supports Dame fully, wholeheartedly, objectively, why the fuck don't nobody want to deal with him? But listen to more about the story with Larry.
Larry hangs up on him. Calls me, said, Cam, I've been dealing with Dame. I deal with his insults. Say, this the last straw. Been paying this man to promote the weed. I gave him $50,000 for a movie, etc. I just can't. I'm tapped out. Dame calls me after. We not fucking with Larry. I said, why not? He said he hung up on me. That's not what real men do. Real men don't real men don't hang up on niggas. Like that. How many times me and you argue? You know.
And y'all all know them traits of a person who acts like that. Me and you fight all the time, so we should be able to fight. Them same friends that talk about some, yo, let's go in the park. If we got to put our hands on each other as friends, then we really not friends. I'm not never jacking that. If I got to put my hands on you, you got to put your hands on me. If we got to cross that line to harm each other physically, to me, and I know in certain cultures and certain places, that's the law of their land, but that shit is corny to me. You know what I mean? And if you feel like you should be able to curse me out just because that's how you are and that's who you are and you never grow from that, then I can't be involved with you no more. You feel me? But it's a lot of clips from Cam. We only gonna go through a couple more and then we gonna end it.
He's on this show talking about, yo, Larry need to just be worrying about his wife. Larry's wife died 4 days after Dame was on the show.
Man.
I was watching his wife die with the nigga. She was at hospice. She was at hospice at and she didn't want to die in the hospital. She went home. And so we're hospice, so she could die home. So Dame is on the show like, yeah, this nigga Larry don't need to worry. He just need to worry about his wife. This is a nice guy. This nigga ain't into all this shit I'm into. I'm with all this dumb shit. This is a cool nigga, you know what I'm saying? You up there telling this man, wife, I'm literally watching her die every day. So I'm like, yo, bro, you really don't got no boundaries. You this mad at Larry for what, nigga? That nigga watched your son for 2 years and made sure that nigga got a roof over his head. And now you mad because he's not in a lawsuit. He paid you $5,000 a month. And then you put his business out there. Who the fuck said that the nigga want his business out there about his dying wife?
Yeah.
That's where you're even lying that me, you, and Big L was in a car somewhere. It's stupid. Like, you know what I'm saying? Okay.
Why does he lie so much? I
didn't know. I didn't know.
Overall, man, whole thing is bad and just crazy, man. Like, who would ever thought? You know what I'm saying? Whoever thought that we see the rock crumble to a pebble? Whoever thought that we see things be broken down like this? Whoever thought that we see Dame in this position? Pause. I mean, nah, but for real though, for real. Like, whoever thought? I think that you know, as men, I'm speaking just for men. As men, there comes a point in time where you have to realize that who you once were is not who you always gonna be. And even if you are the person that you loved at one point in time, that person might be harming or detrimental to the ones that you're around, your loved ones. And a lot of people might just tolerate you, but do they want you? Do they accept you? When people don't have to deal with that shit no more, they gonna get it out the way. Unfortunately, it seems as if Dame is having problems not only with his family, but his friends and people who once loved him. And that's a bad position to be in because we should cherish every day that we get in this bitch. You know what I'm saying? We don't know what's promised for us. We don't know what's going to happen. You know what I mean? Like, you could live healthy or you could be messed up for years to come. So you should cherish every moment you get with your people and treat them with respect. You know what I mean? And handle things accordingly. A lot of the stuff that's been said, man, it didn't have to go there, but it did. But I just hope, I hope that moving forward from Cam to Mace, shit, I have a small sliver of hope for Dame, even though he's acting like this at 50-something years old. And Cam did admit to his pettiness and said that he needs to stop or he's going to try. But I hope that y'all could all grow from this shit and we could be a better representation for Harlem, because I ain't going to front. This shit look whack. And y'all know we don't do that. This is how I do it myself. For the ones that rock with me, know how we doing. For the ones that don't, eventually you will. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.